Hello everyone, welcome to another video. This time we are looking at something exciting. We are looking at one of JetBrains resources called DataGrip. DataGrip, if you go to their website, it says it's a cross-platform IDE that provides a good experience for users of Mac, Linux, and Windows. So it is a brilliant platform for you guys who work in data. If you want to write beautiful SQL coding, then this is going to excite you. It's going to be a long video because we need to do some installations and prepare the environment and everything before we can start querying our database. So what we are going to walk through is I've put some points here. So first of all, I'm going to walk you through, guys, how to install MySQL if you already have not installed it or you don't have it on your local, and connect it to DataGrip. Okay, I've already installed it, so I'm not really going to do the installation on this recording, but I'm going to show you guys how to do it. It's very simple. If you're struggling to do it, just watch a YouTube video somewhere and you'll be able to do it. And after that, we will import the Sakila sample database. Sakila sample database is MySQL's database for testing. It's a database that MySQL users can use for testing. It's something that MySQL have created themselves. Then after we have imported the database, we will start running some SQL queries. So, our select query, then we will filter data with where, sort, and limit results, connect, it will count records with group by, join tables, then answer a business question with SQL. Okay. Then that will be the end of the video. Then we'll move on to the next part or the next series of the video where we'll do the same thing with PostgreSQL. Then we'll do the same thing with SQLite. All of these are, relational database. So after we have done with relational database, we will try and also connect a NoSQL like MongoDB to DataGrip and see how we can also query a NoSQL, database. So it's going to be a fun ride. If you love content like this about data, if you want to learn more from me as I embark on my own journey of learning, I strongly, recommend or advise that you follow me, you like, you share, so that you don't miss any of my videos. Okay. And yeah, you can decide not to follow and you still see the algorithm will show you my videos because you have watched it before. But honestly, following me helps me because it means that I become a well-followed creator on TikTok, and it will encourage me to create more. Okay, that is the only thing I'm asking from you. I'm not selling any course or trying to take any money from you. The only support that you can give me is to give me a follow. Thank you very much for your support. Having said that, let us share our screen and start the first step. Right, so you have to install DataGrip in order to start, obviously. So if you go to jetbrains.com, and you could just Google jetbrains.com, then you add DataGrip installation. I'm sure it's going to lead you to this website, and it tells you the system requirements that are needed to do the installation. So you need a disk space of about 10 gigabytes, RAM of 8 gigabytes. Okay, and you need about 3 gigabytes available for the IDE processes, right? That is the hardware. And the operating systems, if you are Windows Windows 10 or 11, Mac OS 15 or 26, Linux. It works on all of these distributions of Linux. Okay. Okay. So um, once you have got all of this in place, then you come here. It tells you each of them. I am working on Mac, so my installation was done on Mac. So as you know, for Mac, you need the disk image file. So once you um, install the disk image file, you go through the various steps. So everything is in here. You just go through the steps. You can pause the video, go through the steps, and make sure that you've got it installed. Okay. And once you've got it installed, then we can move to the next step. Good. So now that we have checked to see that MySQL is on the local machine, what we need to do is to start MySQL on a Mac. Now, there are two common ways depending on how you installed MySQL. Okay. The first option, if you installed MySQL with Homebrew, then you have to run the command brew services start MySQL. Okay. Then you check brew services list. And when you run that command, you want to see that MySQL has started. Okay. Now, I did not run using Homebrew. So I'm going to take another option, a different option. Okay. As you remember, I installed MySQL using the official MySQL installer. And as a result of that, I need to run this command. So we are going to go back to my terminal and run the command to start MySQL. Okay, so we are back to the terminal, and the command, the bash command I'm going to run is sudo and usr, that is a path, local MySQL support dash files dash MySQL dot server start. Let's see if this works. Yes, it will ask for a password that is the MAC password. So I'll give it my MAC password. Then it says starting my SQL. As you can see, it has initiated the starting. So that is how you start MySQL. If you did the installation using MySQL installer, the official installer. Okay, so you can see that MySQL tried to start, but it hit an error. It says the server quit without updating PID file. We need to fix this before we can go on. Yeah, just so you know, the PID file of MySQL is the process ID file. Okay, so when you hit an error like this, it is very simple. You know, those days we used to go to Stack Overflow and you go through a bunch of stuff to try to find the error. Sometimes you can just copy the error and put it in Stack Overflow, and you are likely to find somebody who has encountered the same issue and has had a response to how to troubleshoot it. Now, every search engine has got an AI deployed into it. So what I normally do is just go to Google, switch to the AI mode, and put the error in there, and it will show you step by steps how to do it. If you you are familiar with this error, then it means that you would probably know what to do right from the where it goes. So when you go to Google and you put on the AI mode, it will tell you step by step what to do. So the first thing is that we have to check and kill ghost processes. An invincible instance of my SQL may already be running and locking the data directory. Okay, so we have to kill it. So we want to first run this bash command. So we say sudo kill or my SQL. It needs our password again. So we give it password. Press enter. No matching processes were found. Okay. I don't know. I'm going to repeat the command. I think maybe I didn't put in the correct password or something like that. Sudo kill all MySQL. Oh, okay, it says no matching processes were found. All right, so then we don't really have any invincible instance of MySQL already running. So that is fine. What we need to do next is we can also fix the folder ownership permissions. Okay, so maybe MySQL requires explicit ownership of its data directory to generate log and PID files. If permissions were altered or set to root, initialization will fail. So grant ownership to the MySQL user. Then we can do that by running this command. So let's run this command to see. So we've got sudo chan r Then we have underscore MySQL colon underscore MySQL ESR local MySQL data. All right. Okay. All right. So the next, I don't think anything really happened in terms of return, but clear the corrupted log files. So we can clear the corrupted log file. Okay. So we can try using this code, and we have sudo rm usr local MySQL data ib underscore log file. An asterisk says no matches found. All right, so read the error log if the server still fails. So let's read the error log if the server still fails. Right. And tail n 50 usr local MySQL data MacBook Air dot power hub dot e. All right, it says permission denied. All right. Okay, so what we're going to do is let's try and restart the MySQL server again. So sudo usr local MySQL support dash files MySQL dot server start. All right, so we're starting it again. If we hit the same error, then we will again submit the error message to maybe try ChatGPT, Cloud Code. I mean, whichever way you can think of trying to get to the bottom of it. You'll definitely be able to know what the issue is as long as you keep trying, because we need to start MySQL so that we know that it will definitely gonna work if we try to pull the data from it. So let's see how it goes. It takes some bit of time to start. So let's see if this time around it works. Yeah, so it looks like we've hit the same error again. I want to try something else. So I want to check whether my SQL is already running. I know that previously I checked, but I want to use this a different bash command. So ps aux, and I use the pipe. Then I grab it. Then I do -i. and MySQL. Okay, so it says it has given me all of this. It says plugin, directory, log error, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I also want to check whether port 3306 is already being used because maybe the Mac is already using that. So LSOF, I'm going to check 3306. Okay. So it doesn't look like any, the port 330 is being used. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's being used. But I can see USR local MySQL. Okay, so I'm just trying to see whether, yeah, definitely I use official MySQL installer. So because I use the official MySQL installer, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try stopping it first. So I'm going to do sudo USR. Then we have local MySQL. Here's a local MySQL support dash files MySQL dot server stop. I just want to make sure that writing the command well. Yeah, that should be SQL local MySQL support dash files MySQL dot server stop. All right, so I need to put in the password. It says MySQL server PID file cannot be found. All right, so this message it's actually helpful. It could mean that my SQL is not currently running, so there's no PID file to stop. So I have to find out why it fails when I try to start it. Okay, so I'm going to run a command, and that is, I'm going to run this command ps ps aux, then I'll pipe it grep -I MySQL. Okay, so this is what I get from this command. All right, so this output here, it actually shows that my SQL is running. It's got USR local MySQL bin, MySQL D user, MySQL base dir, and it shows that it is running with the process ID 15171. Okay, so it's good. It's good. So what we need to do, I honestly don't know why we had that earlier message, but this shows that my SQL is it's not broken. Probably it was looking for a different PID file, but my SQL is already running with this PID file 15171. So what we could probably do is we need to log in into my SQL. Then we'll enter up the password again and run show databases. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's run another command to log into my SQL. So we're going to do usr local MySQL. Then MySQL u root password. Okay, so it says welcome to my SQL monitor. Commands ends with that or that. Okay, so it tells us my SQL is running. Okay, so we are going to run another command, show databases. Show databases. Okay, so we've got information schema, MySQL performance schema, as 4 rows in set. Okay, that is brilliant. Right now that I've confirmed that my SQL is running, and it was probably, checking a different PID file, but I've confirmed that is running at the background. What I need to do next is to import the Sakila database from which we'll be doing the querying. So that will be the next thing for us to do. Okay, so to import the Sakila database, this is what you do. You come to this website, dev.mysql.com/doc/index. You don't need to worry about the URL. You just need to Google, or search for MySQL, and my MySQL or MySQL. Then you add Sakila to it. So Sakila database. All right. Now it will bring you here, and you can see we've got example databases. So we've got employee data, word database, Sakila database. So the one that I will be using is the Sakila database. So you just click on the file format you want. So I chose a zip. So you click on zip, it's going to download, and it will go into your download. Then from there, you can return back to your terminal and start importing it. Okay. So that is what you need to do. Then you can return back to the terminal. Okay, so now we are turning our attention to how we can connect this to DataGrip. If you go to the DataGrip website, you can see that DataGrip stores database connection details as a data source. And JetBrains MySQL guide says the normal process is to create a MySQL data source. Enter the connection details, you download the driver if needed, and test the connection. Okay, so that is what we are going to do. But before we do that, we will do some bit of, stuff in the terminal before we move to the DataGrip UI. Okay, so let's do that before we open DataGrip. So we are going to go back to the terminal. Okay, so we are going to run this command that we ran earlier. So we have ps aux, then pipit grep I MySQL. Okay. All right. And we have that showing that my SQL is running. And we will again quickly test. Using the same command that we've used previously. So I'll enter my password. Okay. Then we will show databases. Okay. Then exit. Right. Now that we've tested again, we just wanted to go through that steps again just to make sure that everything is fine. Now we are going to open DataGrip. Okay. Now, because I'm using Mac, it might be different from how you open it on Windows, but I don't think there will be much difference. Okay, so at this point, I'm assuming that you've already installed DataGrip on your local machine. If you have not, then you need to do that now. Pause the video and do that now. So once you open it, this is going to be the UI that will greet you. So we can click on new project, and let's say I'm just going to make it my SQL, because you're going to query a particular database, which is Sakila database. I'm just going to make it MySQL. I keep saying SQL, but SQL professionals will tell you, no, don't say SQL, it's SQL, whatever. So MySQL, and I'm going to do it underscore Sakila. You can choose any name. I mean, I want to go by this name, and I'll do okay. All right. Then it will open, it's going to open the, it will open the window. I need to raise share because it looks like it sort of disappeared a bit from the screen when you open it. So I'm going to share it again. All right, there we go. So there we have it. So it's open. Okay, cool. Right, got it. So here it says free trial has started, 29 days left. When you're ready to buy, click manage. Okay, so I'm sort of using a free trial now. That's fine. We might not, we will definitely be able to make good use of what we have now. I'm just going to make it bigger so that you can see it well. All right, now it says here, create data source. And it says data source from the cloud provider, template, file, URL. So I'm just going to choose the first one and we will search for MySQL. So hopefully, yeah, we're going to find that in there. So we click on MySQL and here we have to do the configuration. Yeah. I think that I need to reshare because I'm not sure whether you can see the screen. I'm just going to, it looks like currently what is showing is not what I am projecting. So let me reshare. My screen sharer can be a bit tricky sometimes. So I'm just going to reshare. Share the screen again. All right, so we come to create data source. Okay. Then we have my SQL or MySQL. All right, where is it? Okay. Create data source. And we have here MySQL. Yeah, I can see that even though I'm sharing the screen, I'm sure that you guys cannot see what I'm doing. I'm not sure why. I'm just going to hit stop sharing and share again to see if it's going to pick screen. Okay. All right, before I share, let me do something. I'm just going to do I'm just share again, share screen, because this is really important for you guys to see. So really need to let you guys see what is going on here. Okay, brilliant. So there we are. So maybe I'm going to go back. I'm going to hit cancel. Ooh, okay. All right, it's not sharing again. Okay, this is interesting. Share screen, window. Ooh. Okay. All right, I see what is happening. So it doesn't pick what I am doing. It could be issues with, you know, StreamYard and the UI interface of, you know, DataGrip. Maybe it is what it is, but we'll find a way to still let you guys enjoy what we are doing. So I'm just going to share the screen again. Apologies, we've wasted time here. Yeah, but basically what you do to get here is you click on create data source, then it opens this, and we need to configure this to make sure that everything looks good. So we just want to make sure that all the fields are well populated. Yeah, so most of the fields are already populated, but I need to download you know, MySQL driver, because DataGrip needs that driver before it can connect to MySQL. So I'm just going to click on download. Yeah, and it's downloaded. You can see here MySQL. Then we move to MySQL user. I'm just going to put in here root. Okay. Because I'm putting root because remember the bash command I use, -u root -p. So that's it. Then my SQL password. The password field, I, I, I can enter the same password I use in the terminal when importing Sakila. So I'm just going to stop sharing for a moment so that you don't see my password. Which I don't think it will be any problem though. I mean, it wouldn't be a problem because it's hashed out, so nobody will see it. All right, then we will leave this as forever. And databases, we will choose, I don't know if there's any pull down menu, but we can choose Sakila. We can just put there Sakila. Yeah, so we have everything. We've got URL, everything. Then let's click on test connection to see. Oh, it succeeded. It says everything is well connected. Okay, then after that we can click apply and okay. All right, so now that we've got our MySQL Sakila database connected, here, as you can see, we can start running some SQL code. So we are going to start running some SQL codes. Then we will end the recording this particular video. We've already done about 50 minutes. I told you guys it's going to be a long one, but I hope you enjoyed it. So that would be the last bit. And that would be the last bit. Then we can end this long video. All right. So let's see some MySQL queries or some queries that we can write in here to try and get some, data back or some data returned to us from the database. Okay. The first one that we want to run is we want to start by selecting the Sakila database. So we are going to use Sakila. So as you can see, when I'm typing, I'm just going to go back again for you guys to see in case you miss it. When I'm typing, you could see that it actually helps you. One of the things that makes DataGrip so nice to use is it gives you some recommendations. So even if you forget, it gives you some recommendations. So use, and it also auto-completes. So it says press that to choose. I'm not sure why. Yeah, maybe that, but I can type everything. It's telling me to press Control to choose, but it's not happening. Maybe it's for Windows, but yeah. So after this, you can actually execute. Yep, and you can see that it shows you the execution. Then we can also show tables. So I'm just gonna do show tables. And let's execute that. So you can see here it's showing tables. Okay, beautiful. So all of these tables are in the actor info, address, category, city, country, customer, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so now that we know the tables in there, we can now view the first 10 actors. So using select from and limit keyword. So select, scroll down, and we have actor underscore ID. And we have first name. Okay. I'm not sure why when I click on it, it doesn't select. I think there is a way of picking it, but it gives you, it also sort of auto completes for you so that you don't have to type everything. Yeah, which is really cool. Then we have last name. Oh, last name, comma. Then we have last update. Oh yeah, the curse of auto completion is sometimes it changes to what you don't want. Last update. All right, cool. Then from the table actor, then we have limit. So we just want the first 10. All right. So that's our beautiful SQL. Let's execute this. Ooh, there we have it. So we've got our first, as you can see here, we've got our first 10 actors. So Penelope, Guinness, Nick, whatever, Ed, Chase, Jennifer Davis. Yes, so beautiful. Okay. Now let's view some films and their ratings. Okay, so we want to view some films and their ratings. So again, it's still the same select. Then we change it to the columns, because right now we are going to pick from the film table. Okay, so from the film table, we've got these columns. So we've got film underscore ID. Then we have title. Remember to bring your comma. Then we have, okay, we have title. Then we will have release year, release year, release underscore year. Then we have rating, rating. Then we have rental rate. All right, then from film, limit it to 10. All right, let's execute. Okay, so you can see these are some films and their ratings. Okay, so the title of the film, and the year, the release year, rating, the rental rate. Okay, so let's now look at count films by rating. So we want to now use some keywords like count, group by, and order by. All right, so get rid of this now. So we have select, then from the column rating, select. Okay, we want to use count. So we want to count film by rating. So you use asterisk here as asterisk here as total underscore films, and from film, that is the table, group by rating, order by total films. Yes. Okay. All right. So let's execute this and see. Okay. Brilliant. So if you look at this, query, basically it's answering the question, how many films are there under each rating category? How many films? Total films. Okay. So it shows how many films are rated PG, NC 17R. Then we have PG 13, and we have PG and G. Okay. So it starts with the select statement. So it tells MySQL, I want to retrieve some data from the database. And it is rating. This is selects the rating column from the film table. So any thing that comes after the select, any variable, if you like, that comes after select is the column. Okay, so select, proceed, and then it follows the column names. So rating is one of the columns in there. So it's telling MySQL, retrieve some data from the database and select the rating column. That is where I want you to do the retrieval. Okay, so in the Sakila database, the film table has a rating column that stores the film classification, such as G, PG, PG-13R, NC-17. Okay. Now, this part, count into bracket asterisk as total films. So this counts how many rows of films belong to each rating group. Okay. The count into bracket asterisk means count all records in that group. Count all the records in that group. Okay, so we are talking about records here, so we are talking about rows. As total films gives the count column a friendly name. So instead of DataGrip showing the column as count underscore, count asterisk, it will show it as total films. Okay, so it is like an alias. It's giving it an alias. Okay, so I could have used any other alias. All right, so if I've not given it an alias, then it was going to that column here, this is going to be, you see count into bracket asterisk, and I wouldn't want that. So you can always give count, an alias, so that all the records that will come as a result of the count asterisk will come under an alias name. Okay. So so that part says count the number of films and label the result as total films. Okay. You count the number of films and you label the result as total films. Then from film, you know that it tells MySQL which table to query. So we are saying get the data from the film table. Then group by is another very useful SQL, SQL keyword. My brain is looking for the right word to say. Yeah, it's another useful SQL keyword. And what does it do? It groups all the films by their rating. It says group by rating. So instead of listing every film one by one, MySQL groups them like this. So all G films together, all PG films together, all PG-13 films together. So it groups them by ratings. Otherwise, it would have listed it one by one, and you can just imagine like PG-13 is 223, NC-17 is 210. But if you do group by, then you do rating, then it groups them by the rating. You could have done the grouping by any other variable, but we decided to do it by rating. Okay. So it groups them by rating. Then the count asterisk counts how many films are in each group. Okay. So it is very important the way it is sequenced. So you can see that the counting needs to be done before you do the grouping. Okay, right. Then the order by sorts the results by the number of films. Okay, it sorts the results by the total number of films. Okay, so DESC means descending order. So the rating with the highest number of films appear last. That is descending order. So this part, it shows how the biggest film categories, shows the biggest film categories first. Okay, and in that order. So we could go on with other queries, but honestly, I want to end here because it looks like it's going to be a huge recording. And honestly, I'm also tired. It's been about 1 hour trying to record this. Yeah, learning is supposed to be fun. So I'm going to end here. But there will be other videos where we are going to be querying this Sakila database, with other SQL statements. So it was fun doing this with you guys. I hope you're able to watch it throughout. And yeah, if you want to have more of these videos, more of these tutorials, follow me, share, and yep, I will definitely see you in the next video. Bye for now.